First and foremost, hello, welcome back. I just kind of want to give you like a recap of what has happened this semester. We had goat yoga, that was really cool. Our peer leaders put that event on. Really amazing, got to pet a bunch of baby goats. We had Devil Palooza, and Chloe and Hallie performed. I am very thankful that PAB still did their best to make this happen. Just not the same as actually going to a concert like in person. It was kind of what happened when like Charlie Puth played for Inferno Fest in the fall semester, except I would say it's definitely better this time just because we were able to do it outside because it was nice. I don't even know what's been going on this semester. I tried filming like a video for like incoming freshmen with Jack and Lauren and Maya the other day, but I guess I just ended up partially interviewing Jack, so that happened.
What's your favorite color?
Black, if that's considered a color. If it's not,
I would consider it a color.
okay, well, if it's not, because there are people out here that like, black and white are not the colors. So if it's not, then pink.
You gave something to your brother?
Shut up, Lauren.
If you could only pick boogers from one of your nostrils, which nostril would it be?
Definitely my...
I feel like there was something else, like big. Oh, what was it? First, a gas leak in our dorm turned out to be a sewage leak, which turned out to be a cyanide leak, if that makes sense. There's my dorm. It's like a little campus tour. It was
The
like,
10 people that live in our dorms.
yeah, little sicko. Oops, my finger's in the way.
What's it been, 2 hours?
Or something like that. Maybe we'll be going back into the building later tonight. I don't know. It was like 3 p.m. We're like walking out of the building and we pass like 7 firefighters and we're like, oh, maybe the building is on fire and we should have moved slightly faster. Word gets around. We're like, oh, it's a gas leak. It's fine. And then one of the CAs like calls everybody over and she's like, yeah, actually, it's a sewage leak and there's cyanide. So they needed to fix that. And they did. I think we got back into the dorms around like 8 that night. So it was like 4 or 5 hours just like out, like stuck outside doing nothing. It's the little things in life. Today I wanted to tell the story of, I don't want to say being recruited by a cult. That is a strong phrase. And while it may have seemed that way to me, I definitely am exaggerating just a tiny bit. This happened, it was either my first or second day just on campus last semester. So I don't remember everything, but it was definitely weird. It was like me, my old roommate, and then my suite mate, we all were like, hey, like, let's go get lunch. We walk outside of our dorms and run into these like 3 older girls who have like backpacks on. I was like, that's a little weird seeing that like class hasn't started yet. So, like, I don't know why they're wearing like their backpacks, but whatever. Seemed nice enough. They were like, hey, like, oh my god, like, welcome to campus. And we're like, oh, thanks. Like, I just thought they were like some upperclassmen, you know, just welcoming us. No. These 3 women, they're like talking to us and like, oh yeah, like we're part of this like church group, you know, like near campus. And I'm like, okay, I'm not religious whatsoever. So I'm already like, okay, I'm getting nothing from this. But they're just like talking and they're like mentioning like stuff that they do, of course, you know, still being polite, you know, just like listening, like, oh, you know, still thinking that they're seniors on campus. All of a sudden, they're like, oh yeah, like, we have this fun little like retreat thing. One of the girls, she was like, yeah, like, do you watch Survivor? We do fun games and stuff like that. So I was like, oh really, like, that sounds kind of cool or whatever. So she's like showing me this video, and of course there's 3 of them, so it's like one's talking to me, one's talking to my old roommate, one's talking to my suite mate, and we're all just like kind of looking at it. And then one of the girls, they're like, yeah, like, my husband's over there. And we all just kind of were like, huh? You're who now? Because again, I thought they were like seniors in college, which, like, if you want to get married as a senior in college, personally, I don't think that's a wise decision. But of course, that's your life, that's your business. I'm thinking, I'm like, who the fuck are these people? But they were like, we should exchange phone numbers or something. It's like a weird exchange of like phone numbers, and like, yeah, I get it. Lots of stupid things. But it also could have been worse. So like, I don't feel too bad about my decisions. They end up like leaving campus or whatever. They're like, we're getting like a whole bunch of people to go to like Buffalo Wild Wings to like watch the game. Like, you guys should come, it'll be like great meeting new people. And we're kind of like, I mean, we have nothing else to do, so like, sure, I guess we can go to like Buffalo Wild Wings. We're like still like kind of on edge. It's like the day of Buffalo Wild Wings, and my old roommate and I were like, yeah, okay, we could go, because thank God she had a car, because these people, they were like, hey, we can drive people, just let us know. And my old roommate was like, will just drive, because her and I were thinking that, like, this is already sketchy to begin with. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna drive us, that way we can, like, get away if we need. There were so many people in Buffalo Wild Wings, and at this point it was like August. COVID is pretty big. I was like really crowded in there, so she and I were kind of like a little paranoid. And then after that, the girls are going to Target. Not the entire group, just the girls are going to Target. So we're like, sure, I guess we can go to Target. So again, we like drive separately to Target, and we just kind of thought we were just gonna like do our own thing. The like cult girls wanted us to like stay in a group and like really get to know each other, which was, I mean, like it kind of made sense, but also I was like, I don't want to do this, like I don't care. And we were just kind of like trying to stay away from the group, but then there were like a few other girls that were like at dinner too, so they went to Target too. Cult girls were like, oh my god, you guys should totally like exchange like instas and like stuff like that. And then like cult girl number 1 was saying that, and then like cult girl 2 and 3, they were like, oh my god, like here's ours, like what are yours or whatever. I must have given mine out, but like I have a private account, so they couldn't just follow me. And I'm like looking at the request when I get home, and it's like all 3 of the cult girls have like the exact same Instagram. They have their own handle, but it's all like DJ so and so, DJ, I don't know, Funky Fresh. Like they all have it, but like kind of with their own name, which I just thought was really fucking weird. I mean, maybe my friends and I'll start doing that. That would actually kind of be fun. But like it's weird. It's weird. But my roommate and I were like, yeah, actually, we're kind of like tired, so we're gonna go now, but like thanks. At first we kept like looking it up. We were like, what is this? And we found out that that group, like this like religious like club thing, yeah, they used to be affiliated with ASU, I believe, but then because they were like harassing students and like following them around, they like got kicked off of campus. And it's just really weird that they were like all hanging around with younger students or whatever, especially seeing that like we figured out later that they had all gone to GCU and like none of them went to ASU. So like that was also just really weird. It's like, why were you hanging around our campus instead of like your own, if anything? Like nothing was making sense. It just was like weirder and weirder, because it's like they still had our phone numbers, so like sometimes they would text us to be like, hey, like if you guys want to study, we're having like a whole bunch of people over to like our apartment to study. And I'm like, I am not going to your apartment. You are a strange woman who I just met like 2 days ago. Like absolutely not. It was just weird. And like the upperclassmen like here knew about it too, because I was like talking with some of the CAs about it, and they were like, oh yeah, like if they try to like go in the buildings, then it's a problem, but it's an open campus, so it's like if they just walk around, like we can't really do anything about it. I was on the phone I think with like Sandy one time, and you could tell that like the husbands were like sitting behind me, and like mind you, you know, everybody's supposed to be like social distancing, so it's like if somebody's at one table, like leave at least like one table in between you guys. They were pretty close to me, so I was like, I need to go to my dorm. I want to say earlier this semester, I was FaceTiming Izzy. Like the same thing happened, like the girls, like I didn't look at them directly, of course, because I don't like confrontation. So I'm just assuming that it was them, because I was like kind of eavesdropping on their conversation at that point, just to make sure that it was them. I was sitting down, and like there's an entire row of like tables and chairs, and they sit down at the one right next to me, and I was like, absolutely not, I'm not doing this again. It just made me like really uncomfortable. That group is gonna be wandering around campus for the first 4 days of the semester, so like I feel uncomfortable like walking around or just like sitting down, because like if you're sitting alone, they will approach you. Just like really annoying to have to like deal with them. To any incoming freshmen on West Campus next year, I don't think that'll be a huge issue for you guys, but like I said, it wasn't actually a cult. That's just what I jokingly call them, just to make light of the situation. They might try and approach you. If you want to join it, go ahead. But if that's not your thing, just be aware. Just don't be stupid. Just, oh, sorry, don't have Instagram. Don't have a phone number. Whatever you need to do to not put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, you do it. I don't really have anything else to add to this video. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be a little bit funnier with this story, but at this point I don't even care. Yes, I should have made this video like right after it had happened, because it would have been a lot funnier, but it's okay, because a story is a story and it's fine, and I'm giving you guys a little heads up for what to expect. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your school year.